is usually too quiet, like you can't hear him on his car stereo. So it means that I'm going to have to do the unthinkable and boost Ellie's audio.
Nice.
God.
I could sit closer to my mic if that would help.
Sure, try sitting close to your mic.
Because before I was too loud, and then I moved it farther away from my mic.
Yeah, I don't know. That's the feedback we got. But he likes the show, so thank you, TGen listener.
What's up, TGen listener?
Woohoo!
Maybe the issue was that it was picking up too much random shit, and that's why I moved it far away. I bet that's what it actually was. Because you were talking about like having to gate me and stuff.
Yeah, that's true.
Moving it away again. You can just boost me. Fix it in post.
Blurry. God. All right, I'm just gonna be blurry. I'm blurry. It's Monday morning. Let's do it.
I have a hat on.
I'm just gonna be blurry. That's just the way today is working out. No, why am I blurry? God, it's making me really angry.
Why are you blurry?
I don't know. Oh, there. I'm not blurry. Okay, quick. Let's do the show before I'm blurry again.
We're waiting for you to intro.
Okay, here we go.
Welcome to episode 69, part 5.
No! It's over. The dream is over.
No,
you guys will have
the
to
dream will
wait
never
for
die.
episode 169, and then you can. Yeah. God, listen to that. What the hell? People have children. You have children. Come on now.
Oh, boy.
All right, here we go. Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 74 of Cat Context Podcast for Wednesday, May 6th, 2015. Usually we record these shows on Sunday evening when we're all full of vim and vigor, but due to scheduling today, it's Monday, morning still on the West Coast, and I'm feeling a little dazed and confused, but luckily I have my two terrible co-hosts with me. It's Arolaide and Ellyndrial. Hey, Ellie, how was your week? You were in Vegas for the big, well, not at the big fight, but during the big fight, right?
I was, yeah. It made everything super expensive. I wasn't near the strip, though. So we went out on the strip on Friday night, and we saw somebody, but we couldn't tell who. There was like a crowd of people with like selfie sticks in that mall next to the Aria, following somebody. And then one of the people who stayed on this trip has a picture of him with Pacquiao after the fight. And Pacquiao looks really happy even though he lost. Spoiler alert. He lost
he
to
did
the
make a
tune of
lot of
100
money.
He lost to the tune of $120 million. Yeah, I'd be pretty happy too.
Well, losing by decision also is not the same as losing
That's true.
by
He did
total
not
knockout.
get knocked out. And also, that same guy also got a picture with Michael Keaton, but he didn't ask him if he was Batman. I was very sad. He said he didn't want to be that guy, and I was like, that's the whole point.
Yeah, well, that's what you do with celebrities is you ask them stupid questions, you take photos, I guess. Era, were there any major boxing matches in your neighborhood this weekend?
No. Thank good. We've
Thank
got
you,
a
Noah.
neighbor a couple of houses down who's got their home theater is the garage. And so they invited everyone over to watch pay-per-view in their garage, but they were also charging a $10 cover.
Oh,
And it's like, dude, we're in the burbs, and you're in your garage.
did they provide booze?
Yes, actually.
Oh, well, that's more reasonable.
Well,
No,
except
it's
it was
still
Bud Light.
unreasonable because everybody could have brought booze.
That's true. I did attend a fight party, but it was with family. So although I kind of, there are some moral reasons to not watch the fight, I overlooked them for family and jalapeno poppers.
Did you end up putting celery in your deviled eggs?
I did put celery in my deviled eggs.
Oh, why would you do that?
I know Vajra was like, "Why are you putting celery in that? That's the
Thank
worst."
you.
But I did
I am now more friends with Vajra than you.
it. I remember that. No celery in the. No, it was good, and I made buffalo chicken jalapeno poppers, which were really good.
That sounds pretty good.
Seems okay. Fine.
Yeah, it was good. Trust me. I mean, over the top, but I was going to a boxing match. So.
One of my friends got a tomahawk, like a I don't know, it was a big ass Wagyu cut of beef,
Ooh.
and there was like a 1.5 foot long bone on the end of it. That's pretty awesome.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, that week, clearly everyone had an okay weekend. And we have things to talk about today,
We do.
but I don't know what they are. Ellie, since the last time we had the podcast, I started playing that Neko Matsu game or whatever it is.
Neko Atsumi.
Thank you, Neko Atsumi, where you, or as I call it, Japanese cat garden. And it's, yeah, and I collect my cats, and you have to, like, I check in every couple hours to see how they're doing, and that big fat white cat keeps showing up and eating all my food.
Talon keeps bitching about that. She's like, God damn it, that cat ate all my food again.
I loaded it up this morning, and he had been through and eaten both my bowls of food.
Yeah, it sounds about right.
Yeah.
She's collected all the cats now, but some of the cats are being stingy with presents, so there's a few presents she's still going for.
Yeah, I've only got one present so far, and it took me a while to figure out. I'm like, why did this cat just give me an almond? I don't understand what's going on, but it's just more collectibles. And yeah, and I opened up the living room, and so now I can fill that with cats too. And it's pretty
cat
fun.
tree you can get later.
Ooh, I look forward to that. I opened it up the other day, and I guess I'd gotten the I don't know what it's supposed to be, the Three Musketeers cat, where it has a little rapier and it's impaled the mouse toy on it. And I was like, oh my God, what's going on? The novelty cats are pretty cute when they saunter through.
It's pretty awesome.
It is, yeah. I mean, it's sort of like, it is like Tamagotchi. You don't actually do a whole lot, you know. You get them toys and you name them and take little photos of them, but...
You get like silver sardines or gold sardines or something, right? Anchovies.
Yeah. Fish of some nature, yeah. But considering that everything's in Japanese, it has really good UI that all of us are able to play it without understanding what the buttons say. But it is very cute, so I've been enjoying that. So thanks for bringing it up last time.
See, I'm worth something.
Oh, way to go. Well, you are, because also you have something to talk about today, which I hear is the Old Republic.
Yeah. We can talk about the Republic again.
Well, so the Old Republic, starting today, the recording day, the 4th of May. May the 4th be with you.
Oh, boo!
They're doing the 12x XP thing again for story quests.
And it actually is better than that, than the last time they did it. For one thing, it runs through until fall, is what they said. They haven't set an end date on it, but you're going to get at least 3 or 4 months out of it. But one of the things that people complained about the last time they did this is that with the 12x bonus, it was impossible to keep up with your gear.
Oh, yeah.
So even though your level was up, you were the right level for your story quest, or even over-level it, you'd go in and, your gear's 20 levels too low, and you'd get completely destroyed. So what they actually listened to this, and they fixed that, and they the commendation rewards you get for the story quests are also now 12x. So instead of 1 commendation for a quest, you get 12, so you can upgrade your gear with mods and everything, because no one uses real gear anymore. They always use the cartel gear because that's the best way to do it. And so that's actually pretty awesome, and I'm really excited about it because I really want to finish the story, but I don't want to do any more fetch quests ever in my life.
Yeah, I didn't even mind the fetch quests, but what I really want out of...
But I only want to do them once.
Sure, yeah.
I don't mind doing every quest on a planet the first time through, but if I want to see all of the story, that's, 1 million characters, and it's the same story every time when you do the fetch quest.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, I'm glad that I don't have to, is what I was gonna say.
Right.
Like, it'll be really nice to be able to go do all of the story quests, because that is by far the coolest part of that game, and I will be able to do it and play with Talon. So I am going to end up having to subscribe to SWTOR at some point here.
And I'm on Shadowlands, by the way.
Okay, cool. That's actually there's only 6 servers left, right? So
yeah,
I had a pretty good chance of guessing anyway.
Yeah.
But
I actually have a guild on both factions, and you get the guild gives you an experience bonus that stacks with the 12x.
Oh, cool. And I think you can turn off the 12x if you so want. So like if you do want to go do
That's
the
possible, but I don't
do
know
the
why you would
story.
ever
Well,
want
you
to.
like you might want to go do the non-story quests or something. I don't know. Somebody might want to
Yeah,
do
but
that.
still overlevel that shit.
If I wasn't like time constrained, I might do that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you might be able to turn it off. I don't know. That's fine.
I think you can, but it doesn't matter because I'm not going to because I just want to play some sweet, sweet BioWare stories, and there's like 8 of them, so that's awesome.
Yeah, super exciting. And the ones that I have finished, I've actually completed 3. So I have 5 to go. 3 of which are almost done, and they're all uniformly good.
So what's the deal with the expansion? Do I not have to buy it, or do I have to buy it before I do those things?
I don't know. That is a good question. I actually bought the expansion to get the last bonus, but I
And to
haven't.
get your Sky Palace.
And to get my sweet ass Sky Palace, which is amazing. I actually hilariously have not played any of the Revan content because you have to be level capped, and I never bothered to level cap. I just finished my story.
Yeah, that's fair. I did hear that the 12x goes into the expansion content. So
Right, as long, yeah.
oh, but you still have to be level capped in order to do the expansion content.
You have to. That's a good question. Yeah, I think you have to be 55, maybe.
Well, I mean, regardless, like
Yeah.
even if like it slows down for a little bit after you
Right.
burn through the first 60 hours of unimproved game time,
Yeah.
I think it'll be all right.
Yeah.
Now I just got to get the baby to either nap or be happy in a carrier while I play that game.
Good luck with that. You will either totally succeed or totally not. I got super lucky with my first one, who just wanted to be left alone in the playpen all the time.
Oh
Second
yeah,
one,
no.
not so much.
I think I'm closer to the second so far.
Yeah, she actually wants to also play and gets really frustrated when I am in PvP because seriously, the PvP in Star Wars is still really great. I like it a lot. It has been my very favorite PvP experience, and she always wants to get a piece of that, and it's no good.
And you can do the like space battle thing too, right?
You can, but I'm terrible at it, and I hate it.
That's fair.
I can't do the 3D flying. I can't.
Oh, that's fair. Yeah, I played a lot of Descent back in the day, so.
Descent is the reason why I can't, man. Nothing has ever made me as motion sick as Descent.
That's totally reasonable. Like I never got really motion sick, but Descent, man, that was they didn't quite understand what they were doing when they made that game.
And didn't they just kickstart like a high res version?
They did, yeah. Yeah, people are talking about it. It might make me get a flight stick again. I mean, everybody's buying them for Elite, I guess, these days, but I don't have Elite or millions of hours to play Elite. So, or an Oculus. So I don't have a flight stick, but Descent would totally do it.
There you go.
Yeah. Maybe it's all the people that like bought the flight stick for Elite and then are like, I remember when I bought a flight stick and had games to use it with that wasn't just one. So.
Yeah.
No, nothing, Liore.
And no,
you got nothing to contribute.
Well, you guys are talking about Star Wars, and I haven't played that in like 2 years. So.
Yeah, well, you know what you could do is you could come play Star Wars with us.
Oh no, my friend.
And it is free. It's totally free.
No,
unless you want the experience bonus, then it's not free.
I have my hands full with Final Fantasy XIV because Heavensward is out in like 6 weeks, and I am level 48, which means I have 2 more levels to hit level cap. But then I was looking up content, and there's actually more story quests after you get to level cap than there were before. I have so much content to go through before Heavensward. It's amazing, and the story quests are like legitimately good. I actually read the quest text, and I won't give it away for anyone who might start playing the game, but near the end of your leveling experience, you do a mission where you have to go rescue some of your friends, and it's all very exciting, and I'm like, yeah, we're gonna rescue them, and you get oddly, and not like super invested, but you do sort of feel like you got your little NPC buddies and you're looking out for them. So yeah, the quest text is actually pretty good, so I'm looking forward to doing all the story, but it's so much to do for someone who doesn't play that much, and I only have like 6 weeks plus all the hats.
You have to be done with everything before Heavensward?
Well, you don't have to be, but I'm trying
okay.
to have caught up on the story before I get to Heavensward, because there is definitely there's actually in the storyline, there is a point where you get to the end of the story for this expansion, and then literal credits roll.
Oh, nice.
Because you're done the story, so I'm trying to get to that point so I can pick up the story right away in Heavensward, but I don't have to be done. But
yeah, but it always sucks to like have the expansion come out when you're not like. You can't dive into the expansion content. You're like, oh, sweet, I bought this expansion, and I can't play it for a while.
Right, exactly. So, yeah, I am starting to feel a little bit under the gun. Like, a month ago, I was like, oh, I'm like level 42. How hard is it going to be to get 8 levels in 2 months? Well, apparently it's really hard for me. So now I have a level and a half to get to 50 in 6 weeks, and we'll see how it goes. But I'm excited for Heavensward. I don't know if you guys did the hardware test benchmark tool, where they show kind of basically they just show animated sequences from the expansion, and so you're flying through the air and your mounts and you're fighting things, and they just test to make sure that your graphics cards are running properly for the expansion. But seeing people flying through the air, as you know, I was a little torn on the whole flying mount thing, but seeing everyone flying around in their mounts, it looked pretty cool. And I hear the fat chocobo gets a cake on a stick when it's flying.
Wait,
oh my god.
The fat chocobo gets to fly?
The fat chocobo gets to fly.
No, he's too fat to fly. Is he like what's his name from A Bug's Life? Do you remember the Bug's Life, the caterpillar
It's
dude?
animated. She has never seen it.
The beautiful butterfly.
Yes, he's a beautiful butterfly.
He's like huge fat caterpillar, and then he goes into a cocoon, and then he has tiny, tiny wings.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Right, okay. I do know the caterpillar characters. Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing how a fat chocobo flies, because they're adorable on ground, and now they'll be adorable in the air. I'm gonna have to get one of those. But yeah, I'm excited to see. It's cool that they really do so much story stuff, and though at least so far it does kind of delve into doing like dungeons are part of the stories at certain points, but that's only 4 people, and you can usually duty find those pretty quickly. But it's a really good way just to, I don't know, travel around the world, do the story.
You said duty.
It's too early in the morning for this. It's too early. Okay. Yes, I did. But I also, part of the benchmark tool was to do the character creation for the new dragon races. So, and I agree. I think, Arrow, you and I briefly talked about this. The new Ora, the dragon people, the ladies need better horns.
The ladies need kind of better everything. It's super unfortunate. Because the dragon dudes look awesome, and then the dragon ladies are, like, they didn't even try. They are so typical anime waifu, and it's just sad.
I agree. They look like any other, they look like the human race with some weird horns stuck in the side of their head.
And it doesn't even look like horns. It looks like just a bad hair day.
Yeah, exactly. I was really, because the horns are attached to the face type, and there's only 4 face types, so you're basically really limited as to what you can do, which is kind of a bummer. So I agree. I was sort of interested in theory in trying out the dragon people, but having actually done it with the benchmark test, nope, not going to do it.
That's too bad, because don't you get to like free race change to one of them if you want?
I think you do get a free Fantasia, which will let you race change. So, yeah, but that's okay. I figure maybe I'll become like a cat person.
The cat people are like surprisingly awesome. Like, I always hate cat people in games for whatever reason, and then I was wandering around.
Cat people suck.
Yeah, but then I was wandering around, and they all seem pretty cool, and I was like, damn it, I kind of like the cat people. It's not gonna stop me from being a falafel, but you know,
Falafels are awesome.
I
They are really
know.
cool.
Yeah, and I have
I
freckles. It's awesome for me.
they're great. One thing that we learned, Vajra was playing a ninja for a while, and you have to play a ninja properly, you have to hit your spells in a certain sequence to set off a special super sequence, a mudra. But if you do it incorrectly, you get a rabbit that appears on top of your head.
What?
Yeah, so everybody around you knows that you just screwed up your keywork on your mudra because this sad rabbit appears on top of your head.
That's pretty
Wow.
awesome.
Yeah, but the thing is, the rabbit's adorable, so I'm always telling him to screw it up so I can
Like
look at the
public
rabbit.
shaming of pretty good.
I know! What a good idea! So he was like, I'm not playing this ninja anymore. Apparently, when you get the rabbit of shame, it brings dishonor upon your people. So, yeah, that's a good idea, though.
It's pretty sweet.
Yeah. So anyway, I'm looking forward to Final Fantasy. So that's why I don't have time to play Star Wars, because I'm already not playing Final Fantasy.
What about the 12x XP?
No,
That's so many X's.
It is, and it means you don't have to do anything crappy. All you have to do is play through it like a single-player campaign.
I'm gonna play it like a two-player campaign, but still, same idea.
There's that too. You're co-oping your BioWare RPG.
That's right. I've always wanted a co-op BioWare RPG, and then Star Wars was such a good one, and then got so angry about the free-to-play, and now I just want to play it anyway. So
Would you say that you have gone back on your earlier
no,
opinion of free to
I
play?
still think it's bullshit and stupid, but
Yep. Totally right there with you. It is still bullshit and stupid, but goddamn
there's
it, I love my fucking Sky Palace, alright?
yeah, but there's Star Wars BioWare is like really hard to pass up.
That's fair.
I wish I could do one of those like humble bundle sliders where I like send the money where I want it to go, which is to BioWare Studios and not EA, or like 5% to EA. They're probably providing some infrastructure or box art.
That's fair.
Box art.
Box art. I started another playthrough of Mass Effect 2 again. Because it's been like 3 years, right? So it's time to go back and do it. But I had to go, because in Mass Effect 2 days, you had to manually download your DLC, which is like, what am I?
Oh, yeah.
Some kind of animal? Like, come on. And I sort of forgot how much DLC I bought for that game, but I bought a lot.
There's a lot of
Did you
DLC.
buy the pass? You might have bought the DLC pass.
Quite possibly, because there was a lot of stuff. I was like, oh, yeah, I see. I used to not really worry about DLCs.
Well, a bunch of it like came when you like a bunch of it was DLC, but like came with almost every version of the game. Like there was some armor, and then there's some like DLC that you got if you had Dragon Age installed on your computer at any time or something like that.
Yeah, you get sweet Templar and 7 armor, and yeah.
I did not install that though this time around because it does not look Mass Effect appropriate, but it's excellent armor, so you want to wear it. But
yeah, that's true.
They're actually, if you're playing it on PC, there are mods that fix it.
Oh, Arrow, you're so cool.
Mods that you have to pay for?
No, you don't have to. Oh, really? Ellie? Really?
Oh,
I don't really want to acknowledge that because that. Wow.
Speaking of mods, you have to pay for.
I was right. I don't know if I was right. So
why don't we give some context here?
Yeah, I don't understand what. I think you're kind of changing your story here just so that you can say that you were right.
Let's give some context beyond just before we get into the I was right, no, I was right conversation, which will happen. It will, trust me. So Steam. Last week, Steam announced that they're going to allow modders to sell paid mods through the Steam Workshop. It caused a lot of kerfuffle, and then I haven't actually read the most recent decision, but are they just saying they're not doing it?
No, they said that the Skyrim mods are being pulled. Basically, they're like not selling anymore.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
And
they're just not. They very specifically did not say that this program is dead or anything like that. They just said that like yeah, it doesn't seem to be working right now. We have to think about it some more or whatever. So,
So, okay. So, given the context of that, Ellie, what was your stance on that?
so there's a few things going on. First of all, a lot at the same time they came out with paid mods. I don't have any problem with paid mods. Let's just be upfront. Like, if people want to build a mod and then they want to ask for it, money for it, that's totally fine. In fact, like probably good that people can get paid for the work that they do. Um, sort of. It's hard because of the fact that mods have been around for a long time and have always been sort of like a community-owned thing. Um, they've felt very open sourcey, and it's kind of like when Red Hat's like, we're going to take Red Hat and make it an enterprise version of Linux. Um, so it's a little bit weird in that context, but also I think it's reasonable. Um, so I had a huge problem with the money split. They basically said that the creators of the mods were going to get capped at 25%. They kind of said that was all up to the publisher of the game. The monetary split was up to the publisher of the game. So Bethesda was going to take what 45%, and then Steam was going to get 30%, and then the modder themselves was going to get 25%. And Steam wouldn't pay out until those modders had earned $100.
Wow. Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
that's pretty bullshit.
They're like, it's expensive for us to do the overhead on banking transactions, and like, yeah, is it? I mean, it probably is. There's HR shit. Like, they have to they probably have to do like tax grants and like, I mean, there's just like all sorts of rules, I'm sure. But like, basically, the majority of mods would have had to sell, or a mod would have had to sell $400 worth, and I don't know that the majority of mods would have ever gotten to that point. So most of the money probably would have like hung out with Valve and Bethesda. And so that I had a huge problem with that. I have a big problem with that. I think that split sucks. Most of us probably agree on that. I came down early, like really hard on why is Valve getting any money? Why is Bethesda getting any money? And I still mostly agree with that. But yeah, when I say I was right, is like Steam backed off of it, Valve backed off of it, and I thought that they needed to reevaluate, and I was right about that. So hooray me.
Yeah, I mean, I think the internet, a lot of corners of the internet were just mad about the idea of paying for mods, which is not what any of us are saying in this conversation, and is a weird and incorrect thing to be mad about.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think that, I mean, I agree with you that the numbers need to be tweaked, at least as far as I know, not knowing much of the back end. But it is normal to put like a limit on how much before you cash someone out, and anything like an Amazon affiliate program or whatever, you have to wait, I think it's like $50 before they'll cash you out. So that is sort of a normal procedure. I can see that holding over with mods. I can understand giving money. In fact, I think it's great that they're giving money to the publishers. But the numbers do appear to be tweaked. What did you say? Why?
I said you're wrong. But
how can I be wrong about that? Like, all these people create this game
and that you have to buy and be running in order to play the mod.
Right.
So I've already paid them their publisher money when I bought the game. Why do I have to pay them?
But you can't just. It's like you can't just make a T-shirt with, I don't know, Samus's face on it and sell it. Nintendo will come after you, right?
Nah, it's unclear. There's like Nintendo probably will.
Yeah, I purposefully chose Nintendo.
I mean, but there's a lot of video game mashup T-shirts where they base stuff on video games or comic book characters or whatever. Like half of the T-shirts I wear are like that. And those aren't licensed. And I don't even think they should be licensed. They're like derivative. I mean, like, they're clearly based on the idea, but like, I don't.
Right, but a mod like
it's different from like
requires the game to run.
So I'm already paying them for that by buying the game. Like I'm already buying a full copy of the game.
Right. I'm not
So
sure
why am
how
I
that
paying them?
follows that.
Why do I pay them for the full copy of the game plus 10% of something else that they didn't have a hand in?
Yeah, but you're not paying them. What you're paying is the price of the mod, and then the modder is the one that
But
has.
they're opening the modding up. I mean, it's like if I had to pay Warcraft every time I installed an add-on.
No.
Yeah, it's exactly like that.
No, it's not,
That's
because
exactly what the mod is like.
no, you are not paying Warcraft. You are paying the modder, and then the modder pays Warcraft.
Well, the modder shouldn't have to pay Warcraft either because they have to buy the game too, and they're helping drive more sales of the game if I want to use their mod or their add-on.
Right, but that is, I mean, a business could take that approach to it. And in fact, Warcraft is a good example of a business that has taken that approach to it. But that's just one approach. That isn't
Bethesda
saying that
took
there's any.
that approach. Like the biggest part of the I think the biggest flaw in the whole thing is that Bethesda like for Skyrim was the only one. Skyrim first of all is already a Steam Workshop game. So it's not like they're taking away, they're like destroying the community and putting it on only on Steam Workshop and like forcing you to buy into Steam. You already have to do that in order to get Skyrim and play a Skyrim mod. But
Mhm.
but that community for the last 5 years or so has been building mods and working in this situation where the mods have been free, and then they tried to shoehorn a payment model in late to an already built and thriving community. So like one of the things that I'd heard that I actually kind of agreed with is like I think it would have been received totally different if they'd started with like Cities Skylines, a brand new game that came out up front, new had modding, and then if all that modding had been done with this framework, like I think the reception would have been different. I mean, we probably still would have been pissed about the like developers, the modders getting like almost no money out of the deal. Feels
Right,
like.
right. Yeah, the exact numbers I think could be definitely tweaked in
But
favor more in favor.
but I mean, but I don't have a problem necessarily with the concept at its base, but I don't know. I mean, like Bethesda's been providing this service for free for a long time and built a big community, and now it felt like they were going from here's this big free community that we helped support for free, and that's part of why you buy a Bethesda game is because there's this modding community, um, and now we're going to take a bunch of money out of it.
But
They're not requiring all mods to be paid. They're just giving you the option of charging people for your mods.
But we already had that option and nobody did it. And part of the reason that nobody did it is because most mods are built like open source software and they're built on top of other people's mods.
But there are open source softwares that are also for pay. Like, for example, something I use in my personal job is HighCharts, which is a jQuery plugin for creating dynamic charts on a report, and you have to pay a license for that, even though it requires jQuery, which is open source, and yeah,
yeah, same with like WordPress mods.
and there are WordPress mods, WordPress themes, millions of forum softwares.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. To follow up on what Ara's saying, like no one is mandatory must start selling their mods, but here is a excellent venue for them to do so over the Steam Workshop, where there's already everyone who plays video games pretty much is hanging out at Steam, and
they don't have to build their own payment infrastructure.
Right, which is a huge pain. Yeah,
right.
And so I guess I just don't see why it's not cool for Bethesda to take some money off these people who are making a whole bunch of money.
Bethesda's not providing anything else. Bethesda's not providing anything new in this equation. Like Valve is, because Valve's doing the payment model, or Valve's doing the hosting potentially, and the whatever. But Bethesda's not doing anything else except sitting there sucking out money.
But so
like,
you're saying that the modders should be able to make money off the mods based on a game, and Valve should be able to make money off the mods based on a game, but Bethesda doesn't have a right to get any cut of that?
If Bethesda was building mods, then sure. And like
But
that's
they
what
built the
DLC
game.
is.
They built the game
and
that
I
all those
paid them for
mods
the
rely
game.
on.
I paid them for all of that.
And all like the advertising they did that helped people want to buy the game and then therefore
Right,
get
and I
mod.
bought the game, but I didn't buy the mod. They're not advertising for the mod. They're advertising for the core game, which is something totally different. The mod is tangentially related and in fact requires the game, but it's
Right, but the bigger the audience of a game, the more likely they are to buy mods. The more mods will sell, the larger the audience of a game. So the advertising they do for Skyrim will translate directly into mod sales for Skyrim.
And you said
I
that
don't think
part of
that's
the reason
true.
why people will play a Bethesda game is to be a part of the modding community.
Yeah, but the modding community. Okay, so the modding community is a relatively small part of the Skyrim community. It's the number was like 8% of people have ever installed a mod, right? And
Okay.
so like I don't know. I just I feel like there was a lot of issues. There were a lot of issues, and that is one of them for me. Is I don't see why Bethesda needs another cut. I just like it that one. I struggle with that one. Um,
All right,
like
that's fair.
it's not somebody reselling a standalone mod that includes a copy of Skyrim that is necessary to run. Like they have to buy Skyrim. If you didn't have to buy the base game, I'm totally on board with money going back to Bethesda in like a we're licensing Bethesda's engine sort of thing. But the fact that I need to buy the game and run the game, like literally run a legitimate-ish copy. I recognize that there's also a big pirate community, but like we can't include that here because that's its own separate thing.
Yeah, that's fair.
Like
Yeah.
I have to have a copy that I paid Bethesda money for at a price that Bethesda was happy with, or I wouldn't have bought it. Like I don't see why I have to pay them again for somebody else's work in their ecosystem. That's where I'm stuck. I mean, and that's separate from the ownership issue, which was a huge problem with the particular implementation. Like many of these things are built in a sort of open source model, and most people did not put an explicit license on it because there wasn't any avenue to turn it into commercial,
Mhm.
right? But the sort of implied license is the reuse this for non-commercial new license or whatever it is, and that was part of the problem with the big ones that came out. Like some of the mods, first of all, Valve did almost no background checks on who was putting a mod up. They basically let anybody. The first person to submit was the person that owned that mod in their system. That was a huge mistake. They also, when modders reused other people's assets and code, like I do think that should go to those people who created those assets and code and system, because that's like that part I
You
get.
mean like someone building a mod on top of someone else's mod?
Yeah.
Okay. I was just trying to understand what you were saying. I'm sorry.
Yeah. This happens a lot, right? Like somebody's good at textures, so they go get like somebody's texture pack and include it in their mod.
Right.
And
Yeah.
then if the people that made that texture pack don't want their mod to be for sale, then like I mean it's just like that whole chain was not thought through.
Right.
And Valve, like all the Valve employees are like, we're all built on mods. What are you talking about? Like that's kind of true, but also not entirely.
Right.
So, I mean, I don't know that they just clearly didn't think the whole thing through, and that was the biggest flaw.
Oh well, sure. No, I think the fact that they've gone back on it already is a good indication of that.
It was
But
surprising.
I think it's that you're thinking of it as you're paying Bethesda, whereas what you're paying is $2.99 to the Steam Workshop. Like
That's not really what I want to do either. I want to pay $2.99 to the dude who spent 16 or 80 hours or 300 hours building this.
Thing is, either way, you're going to be paying $2.99. So, you're not going to be paying any less money because a certain percentage of it is going to Bethesda.
But if
so you're seeing it, you're like, I've already bought the game. Why do I have to pay Bethesda? But you're not paying Bethesda. You're buying them all.
Oh no, that's not true at all. Like that money goes straight through to them. Like Yeah, it, like the path like goes sort of through somebody else's bank account to get there, but it goes to Bethesda.
But it's gonna be like $2.99 either way.
Okay, but if I want to pay you for something that you did and I want to pay you 2.99, then in order to give you that much money, I now have to spend $10. And so I'm supporting
Yeah.
you less by with the same amount. I'm supporting you, the content creator, less with my money than I
So
want to be.
you will
Like
only buy an album direct from an
I
artist's
I prefer to.
car trunk? I
No, like from the artist's website where like I mean, I prefer to give the money directly to the artist rather than to the corporate machine backing the artist. Absolutely.
But even when you buy something from an artist, if they didn't also write and produce everything, there's still money going to someone else for those assets.
Right. And I'm okay with that.
Uh,
But
I'm gonna need some
but
beer.
no, I'm not paying like I understand that tools cost money, and when you buy a piece of software, part of the cost of that software is the tools used to create it and the purchase of those tools. I totally get that.
Okay,
Like that's fine, right?
you're just real grumpy about it.
I don't know. It's hard. Like it's I don't know. It's hard because it's also asking the mod community to change and my vision of what a mod is to go from a hobby project to a commercial project. And when it's that sort of instantaneous of a change, like that's always a hard thing to do. Like the same thing happens for apps like I don't know, like the early Twitter clients, like there were a bunch that were free, and then all of a sudden they were like, if you want to keep using us, you got to pay us now. Especially once Twitter like cut the API tags down to whatever it is, 10,000 or whatever they can have, right?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it's still if I want I want this piece of software to continue to exist, so I get it, right? And I understand that those people now like have a thriving thing and want to be in a position to work on that all the time. And I probably want that too if I like what they're making. But like it's I don't know. There's like some cognitive issues going on here.
I'm pretty sure that much is obvious.
Yeah. Well, I'm just
All
I'm
right.
just saying it's like there's like this line, and that line is clearly being crossed from non-commercial hobby work to now these people are professionals, and usually and in the past of modders and all these people that are at Valve being like, oh well, we're all modders. It's like you were modders, and then you got hired by Valve and paid a full-time wage to keep writing software for Valve now,
Okay.
right? And it's that step.
All right. Let me explain this to you from my perspective in my personal life. If someone comes to me with a picture of what they want their WordPress blog to look like, WordPress, by the way, free, open source, and they say, here is this picture that I have made of my WordPress blog. Will you turn this into my WordPress blog? And then I charge them X amount of money to make that occur. Is that a problem for you?
No, that's why I would pay a modder.
But you did.
You're a modder of WordPress, but then
But part of that
you don't have to
is
go. You don't have to
saying
turn
part
around
of
and
that
pay. You don't have to
functionality.
turn around and pay WordPress.
I might. What if they need hosting? What if their part of their vision for this free software requires some paid part at the back end of it? Like, I don't know, a shopping cart or something. All those, you don't ever want a free shopping cart. That's a bad idea. So where's the line there for you? It's still my hobby. It's not my actual job, but I think I deserve to get some compensation for my time.
Yeah, I don't have a pro like that. That's I started this whole thing by saying I don't directly have a problem with the concept of paying for
I'm
mods.
just trying to understand where you're coming from. I'm not trying to
So if
set
you were
you
part
up
of
with
a-
a gotcha
if
here.
you
It's
were
a
part of-
legit question.
Yeah, no, it is. It's totally legit. I'm not even saying. I'm not trying to imply that it's not. Like, if you were part of a forum community that had been providing custom WordPress sites or themes um, to the public at large, and we grab pieces from other people's code and everything like that, and that was great, and you were like the default place to go get that stuff. And then all of a sudden, like after you'd built a big thriving community based on the promise of these things being free, started started charging. And WordPress, and not only that, WordPress was like, we're only going to let you do this if you give us some of the money that you make. Then I would have a problem with that, and I would have a problem especially with WordPress saying that we want some of the money that you're going to make. That's the part that I have an issue with, is not with the creators asking for money, but with and on top of that, you would pay the other people who's like potentially, if they were like, look, you're using my piece here, like I should get part of that too. I probably would agree with them. But
Mhm.
like I would have a problem with WordPress saying, in order to build a mod, if you want to charge money for it, some of that money comes to me. Like after like whatever 20 years of WordPress being 10 years, 15 years of WordPress being free and freely moddable with none of that coming back, wouldn't you have a problem with that if WordPress was like, now if you're going to charge money, like 40% of all that money has to go to me? I mean, that's how it feels. Like
Okay.
I'm not even saying it's necessarily right. That's the way that I'm coming to it.
Okay.
And I like not a huge like. I mean, I played Counter-Strike and part of like a lot of Counter-Strike, but besides that, like mods have not been a major part of. Like I don't play Bethesda games consistently, right? Like you guys are way more into the modding scene than me with your Dragon Age mods.
Seriously, if you've seen the hair in Inquisition, you understand why he needed mods.
That's fair. That's totally.
I just like it's more like a long time ago there was like I played a lot of like Diablo, and we all like modded Diablo. We all like did shitty things to deal with hex editors and stuff, right? But if those tools, which were all free, community-based tools, suddenly had started charging, I would have stopped using them first of all. I mean, it's hard because I'm also in a totally different position than when I participated at all in this community. So, like, I can afford to pay for things now a lot more. Part of the DLC problem. Like, I'm happy that I can pay $20 for DLC now. I couldn't have paid $20 for all of my DLC when I was like 16 and getting into video games.
It's true.
Okay.
All right. I think we're not going to come to an accord totally on this, but I think it's interesting, and clearly it's a topic that people all have a variety of opinions on, which is why Steam slightly backpedaled a bit. I think they were like,
Yeah.
whoa, holy crap,
Well,
we
did
did
you
not
see,
expect that.
Gabe like went on Reddit and tried to do an AMA about it too, and he did not get the friendly welcome that I think he was expecting.
No, I saw that. Yeah, I think that did not go as well. And it was not long after that they backpedaled a little bit, because I think they didn't realize the level of vitriol this had inspired. But I think we all agree again to emphasize that modders do deserve to have an avenue to make some money from their efforts. So hopefully they work it out.
Yeah, I would love to see professional modders. That would be great. If the eventual outcome of all of this is professional modders, that's great.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, that is it. That is almost a full hour. We're doing it a little short today because we all have to get back to work. Bummer. Ellie and Arrow, thank you for taking time out of your Monday mornings, afternoons to come on the show this week.
Woohoo!
Yay!
Ooh, Monday. We're so lively. We will be back in 2 weeks with another episode. Just a reminder that we are part of the TGen Network. It's tgenetwork.net. And check out other great shows. I actually went out for brunch this weekend with two of the co-hosts of AgroChat, and it was really cool. We all had like good podcasting stories to share and stuff. So check out AgroChat and other awesome shows on our network. And that's it. We'll be back in 2 weeks. Bye.
Woohoo.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Oh no, I have to figure out how to stop this. Right. Okay, good.